As you know, October 5th through 11th is Fire Prevention Week. Every year across the United States, there are nearly 400,000 home fires, where hundreds of citizens lose their lives and thousands sustain serious injuries. That's why this year the National Fire Protection Association has chosen this year's fire prevention theme as Prevention Home Fires. Prevent home fires. A little closer to home, each year the Houston Fire Department responds to nearly 1,700 residential fires. That covers anything from single-family dwellings to apartment complexes to high-rise residential occupancies. We have learned from studying our own data as well as national statistics and data that a great deal of these residential fires are preventable.
The NFPA, 40% of all home fires start in the kitchen, with most starting on the range or the stove.
As you might know, the #1 cause of residential fires in most communities, most houses, is careless cooking. This happens by several reasons. By leaving food unattended, by not taking care of preparing yourself properly when preparing food. First of all, one of the things that we want to make sure that most parents understand, or for those that do any type of cooking, is first of all, make sure all handles are not extended off of the eye. Try to turn them inward if you can, if the other eyes are not lit. Also, there are different types of ways to extinguish a fire once the fire started in the kitchen. One of the things you can use, first of all, is a lid. If you are cooking, happen to have a grease fire, try covering the fire with the lid as a first precaution. If not, you can always use a fire extinguisher. With that fire extinguisher, you should use the PASS method. That's the pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep method. All right, this is very simple to use. Make sure that you familiarize yourself with this method because it's better to need it and not have it than to have it and not need it. Also, when you are cooking, do not be in a hurry. One of the major causes of cooking, or careless cooking, is once a person has a phone call or they're in a situation to where they have to attend to the kids, or they're in a situation to where they have to go answer the doorbell or something, the first thing they want to do is to throw the pot holder or the dish rag onto the countertop. With that being said, one of the first things that will happen is that this is highly combustible. Highly. I like it. You walk away for 2 or 3 seconds, you come back, you have what we call a fire. With that being said, first thing you try to do is to get this off of the eye. Right? You don't want to run outside. You can extinguish it with a fire extinguisher, or you can extinguish it by putting that rag in the sink. Okay? These are just some of the helpful tips that we would like to convey to you when the holidays come around. You know, there'll be a lot of cooking, so make sure that you take cooking seriously. Remember that careless cooking is the #1 cause of residential fires.
The Houston Fire Department wants all citizens to know that any type of fire play is dangerous. Adults have a tendency to downplay juvenile fire play as a normal part of growing up, and the Houston Fire Department says no. All fires start small. Any small flame has a significant potential to grow into a large fire, and usually does when in the hands of a child. Younger children, ages 12 years and younger, tend to play inside the house. They'll, knowing that playing with matches or lighters is dangerous, they'll play in the bedroom or in the bathroom. They tend to do it behind closed doors. The most common places that kids play with fire in the home is in the closet or in their bedroom on top of their bed, which is probably the most dangerous place to do that, as there are some highly flammable materials there. Older children, adolescents, and teenagers tend to play with fire outside the home. They go to places like the garage, neighborhood parks. They'll set dumpsters on fires, and most frequently what we see with these kids is fires at school. To help curb juveniles' interest in fire, the Houston Fire Department recommends that adults regularly communicate to children how dangerous fire is. Children don't always understand the danger of fire, as it is something that they frequently see at home for things such as barbecuing and even on birthday candles. Matches and lighters are for the hands of grown-ups only and should never, ever be in the hands of children. We also recommend that adults never leave candles burning without direct, constant supervision. Do not leave a burning candle in a room, even for a minute, especially when a child is present. Matches and lighters should be kept locked up, not just put away up high. Children are very resourceful and won't hesitate to climb up and get something that they really want. The intentional setting of a fire is called arson. In the state of Texas, a juvenile may be arrested for the crime of arson beginning at the age of 10. In the state of Texas, charges for arson begin as a second-degree felony, which is punishable with up to 20 years in prison or up to a $10,000 fine or both. The charges will move up from there depending on the type of structure set on fire and whether someone was injured or even worse, killed. Juveniles, and in turn their families, are liable for damages caused by fire play when property owned by someone else is damaged as a result of this fire play. The Houston Fire Department is concerned foremost about keeping all individuals' personal well-being safe. Fire is the #1 cause of accidental death for children under the age of 5. In the Houston Fire Department, we also are primarily concerned with protecting property. Damage to homes and personal property is devastating both emotionally and financially. And finally, the Houston Fire Department is concerned about the legal implications of arson. Having a felony conviction is life-changing and will limit a juvenile's future. The Houston Fire Department Juvenile FireStoppers program is here to help. We are not law enforcement, and participation in this program does not create any type of a record for the juveniles who come through. It is a confidential, free, one-time class which lasts approximately 90 minutes.
One of the aftermaths of that is gasoline that was used for generators to power people's homes. We ask that those gasoline containers not be stored in the house or near a water heater. If you have an outbuilding of some sort, that's the best place for it.
Carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors save lives.